You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White sports fans, let's talk about the NBA and Mark Cuban. Because today is September the 1st. May not mean a whole lot to a lot of people, except this is a new month. And you would be correct. But if you are in the state of Texas, today, a lot of laws went into effect that were voted on this past summer. And one of those laws is actually now all professional sports teams must play the national anthem at their games. And boy, Mark Cuban is going to be furious by this. Because if you guys remember, last season when there were no fans in attendance, Mark Cuban tried to pull a fast one and not play the national anthem at any of the games. Maybe he didn't want to deal with any of the kneeling and things like that, because we saw what happened in the NBA bubble. Almost every single player, I would say about 98% of them, kneeled for the national anthem wearing Black Lives Matter on the court. It was a disaster, and fans turned off their television sets. So Mark Cuban, I guess he was thinking, you know what? I don't want to deal with any of that. So therefore, we're not even going to play the national anthem. But there were no fans in attendance. Nobody really noticed until he opened up his mouth. And then Adam Silver came in and said, oh no, you will play the national anthem. And now, because of Mark Cuban, Texas has now passed a law that every professional sports team in Texas will need to play the national anthem. Now, the reasoning for this is apparently these professional teams, they get state money. Why they getting state money? I have no idea. This should not be happening. These professional sports teams, they make more than enough money without the federal government giving them money, or the state government in this case. But let's go ahead. Let's dive into this, guys. It says here on Outkick, next time Mark Cuban knits his national anthem, he'll have to repay government funds. A swarm of recently passed laws in Texas went into effect on Wednesday. As of September the 1st, the state now requires all pro teams in Texas to play the Star-Spangled Banner before home games. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick prioritized this law after Mark Cuban removed the national anthem from the Dallas Mavericks pregame rituals last season. Should Cuban knit the national anthem again, the Texas House forced Cuban and his team to repay government funds received from Texas, which could amount to millions of dollars. In other words, it won't be a problem. Yep, because what we're talking about here, and this is on Click to Houston here in Houston, Star-Spangled Banner Protection Act. Professional sports teams with state funding are required to play the national anthem before games under Senate Bill number 4. And last month, it says here, Texas House votes to yank state funding from sports teams that don't play national anthem at games. You know what? I believe that Mark Cuban was just trying to actually pander to the people that don't like this country. Well, guess what, Mark Cuban? These people that don't like the country, they're not going to like the country no matter what, whether you play the anthem or not. Now, I believe in being patriotic. You should play the anthem. Now, none of this is actually going to make the players stand for the anthem. But however, when it comes to the NBA, they have a rule on the book that you must stand for the national anthem. Did they really enforce that last season? No. And I must admit, though, that for the most part, most of the players in the NBA, they stood for the anthem every single game. But there was some kind of an incident that happened last year. I don't remember. And I know that the Miami Heat, they knelt for the national anthem, and the NBA did nothing. So essentially, guys, the rules on the books for the NBA, when it comes to the national anthem, players are allowed to break it, and the NBA is not going to enforce it. And there's really nothing that Texas can do. But however, they can make you play the national anthem because you professional sports teams, you guys take state money. And that's the difference right there. Okay. Now, this is the ridiculous thing that Mark Cuban said last season about not wanting to play the anthem anymore at games. He said, quote, "We respect and always have respected the passion people have for the anthem in our country," Cuban said, defending his decision. "But we also loudly hear the voices of those who feel that the anthem does not represent them." Really? The only people, Mark Cuban, that don't feel like the anthem represents them? Guess what? That is the far leftists, Marxists, and communists. Because they want to overturn and overthrow this country and have this country actually looking like, to use your last name, Cuba. That's what they want. We don't want that. We want our freedoms. And make no mistake about it, folks, our freedoms are under attack in this country from the left. And this is nothing more than Mark Cuban trying to pander to the left. The Star Spangled Banner, that is our national anthem. We should respect it. If you do not want to hear it, you know what? You don't really have to play in the NBA if you're an American, okay? It's kind of funny, that you have these foreigners that come over here that play. They don't seem to be complaining about the national anthem. Think about that. Foreigners that aren't citizens of this country will come over here and have more respect for the national anthem than the supposed citizens of this country. But Mark Cuban was focusing on pandering to the leftists, the communists, and the Marxists that hate the national anthem and hate the country. But however, his overlords in the NBA, Adam Silver, who's really just a puppet of the players, really. He's supposed to be working for the owners now. But really, he works for the players because the players run the league, okay? Adam Silver made him actually play the national anthem because it's a part of NBA rules. But yet, Adam Silver didn't make the players stand up for the anthem when they're supposed to, and that's on the rule book. The NBA is a complete and utter mess. It really is. So there you got it, guys. All Texas professional teams, the Astros, the Rangers, the Texans, they all will have to play the national anthem before every single game. They're all getting money from the state government. I really don't know why. That probably needs to end right there. It really, really does. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, Mark Cuban is going to be furious about this. We know it. He's going to be forced to play the national anthem, even though we really know he doesn't want to play it. Anyway, guys, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to Black and White Sports, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.